Welcome to Battlesphere, the ultimate arena for legendary showdowns. Here, mythological titans, Marvel icons, DC legends, and epic warriors from diverse civilizations clash in electrifying battles. Join me as we explore the realms of possibility, comparing strengths, skills, and strategies in hypothetical matchups that will leave you on the edge of your seat. So buckle up and let's dive into this thrill of epic confrontations. The Omega Containment Facility, buried beneath the ancient mountain ranges of Montana, was built not just to imprison, but to erase the very existence of Cain Marko, the being the world once knew as Juggernaut. It had been more than 500 years since he last walked the earth. Those who remembered his reign of terror had long since turned to dust, and the chaos he had wrought had faded into myth. But deep within the silent, high-security complex, time had not softened the rage within him. The mystic energies of Cyttorak still whispered across dimensions, feeding him slowly, quietly, and patiently. On a cold morning, as scientists performed routine diagnostics and security maintenance, an unexplainable energy surge rocked the base. A web of fine cracks appeared across the reinforced adamantium walls of Cell X-01. At first, they seemed insignificant, maybe seismic disturbances or wear over centuries. But when a low hum began to echo across the walls, something ancient stirred. Beneath the surface, the red lights blinked, the facility trembled, and alarms shrieked in protest. Scientists shouted, frantically entering override codes as the central monitor began to display one horrifying line in pulsating red. Warning, Juggernaut containment breach imminent. Dr. Amanda Reyes, a weathered expert in dimensional physics and the lead coordinator of Project Null, slammed her palm on the command console. Her voice cut through the chaos. Seal the vault doors, now. Divert auxiliary power to the suppression field. Younger scientists scrambled, some nearly in tears. One technician, Miles Chen, barely 24 and already a theoretical physics genius, stared in horror. He's absorbing residual mystical energy from the Cyttorak crystal shards. He's recharging. The walls of Cell X-01 groaned ominously. The shimmering blue containment field began to flicker. Sparks shot from the power regulators. A guttural growl filled the chamber. And then, like a volcano erupting after centuries of silence, the entire right wing of the facility exploded. The reinforced vault door was hurled through 6 layers of blast shielding as an armored figure stepped through the smoke and fire. Over 7 feet tall, broad-shouldered, and encased in dark crimson mystic armor, Cain Marko roared with a voice that cracked the air. I am free! The facility descended into madness. Panic spread faster than the flames. Emergency personnel tried in vain to reroute power, activate failsafes, anything that could slow him down, but it was like trying to stop a tidal wave with a sandbag. Juggernaut's steps shook the ground. The soldiers stationed within the base opened fire, pulse rifles, high-caliber bullets, explosive rounds. Nothing worked. The bullets bounced off his mystical armor like pebbles thrown at a mountain. One swipe of his massive arm shattered tanks, like tin cans. Within minutes, the facility lay in ruins. Only a few, including Dr. Reyes and Chen, made it to the emergency evacuation pods. As the great beast emerged into the light of day for the first time in centuries, the world changed. Satellites picked up seismic activity across a 3-state radius. Military intelligence recognized the energy signature, an unmistakable echo of Cyttorak's ancient power. It was as though a god had awakened from a nightmare, and soon the rest of the world would feel his wrath. News broke within the hour. Broadcasts interrupted regular programming. Viewers across America watched in horror as shaky, real-time footage revealed a mountain exploding in Montana and an unstoppable figure walking through the debris. News anchors tried to maintain composure, but fear laced their words. This just in, We have confirmation that Omega Containment, previously considered a decommissioned research base, has been destroyed. Experts now believe the figure seen emerging from the rubble is the Juggernaut. Yes, the very same entity previously dismissed as legend. Panic consumed the nation. Families rushed to gather supplies, highways filled with fleeing cars. Social media exploded with unconfirmed sightings, conspiracy theories, and apocalyptic memes. From the alleys of New York to the deserts of Arizona, the word spread. The unstoppable one had returned. Denver, Colorado, was projected as the first major city in his path. It would be the front line of destruction unless someone intervened. In Washington, D.C., the president was moved to a secure underground bunker. A live broadcast was hastily prepared. Americans watched as the president, with grave solemnity, addressed the nation. My fellow Americans, today we face a threat not seen in generations. The entity known as Juggernaut has breached his containment. We are working with our highest scientific minds, our bravest military personnel, and our global allies to counter this threat. I ask you all to remain calm and follow evacuation protocols. America will stand strong. We will not fall to fear. God bless us all, but fear had already taken root. Emergency sirens echoed in city streets. Schools were shut down. Airports were overwhelmed. Churches held all-night vigils. Military jets soared overhead, tracking Juggernaut's movements, but none dared to engage. The last time such a move was attempted, centuries ago, entire battalions were annihilated. Meanwhile, far from the panic of the cities, in a covert mountain base under SHIELD jurisdiction, Dr. Amanda Reyes and Miles Chen were not resting. Exhausted, bruised, and covered in soot, they gathered with a team of elite scientists, mystics, and engineers. Cyttorak, Dr. Reyes muttered, staring at a glowing diagram of dimensional frequencies. It's the key. We can't stop Juggernaut as long as that connection remains. It's what makes him immortal, invincible. Miles adjusted the scanner. We might be able to sever it temporarily. If we isolate the dimensional tether and fire a reverse frequency pulse, it could destabilize his link to the Cyttorak plane. It'll take massive power, Reyes said, more than a city's grid, but we'll find it. We have to. The project was named Operation Severance. A prototype cannon, built from salvaged vibranium and mystic conductors, was designed in 12 hours. It would be airdropped into a cliffside just ahead of Juggernaut's path. Timing was everything. As the Juggernaut neared the outskirts of rural Colorado, his trail of destruction was undeniable. An entire bridge system had been flattened. A town, once home to 10,000, was reduced to rubble in mere minutes. Juggernaut didn't pause. He didn't speak. His rage was elemental. The military made one last effort. Jets unleashed coordinated missile strikes. Juggernaut walked through the explosions. Tanks fired barrage after barrage, only to be crushed like toys. There's no stopping him, a general admitted in a classified Pentagon recording. We either kill the power source or evacuate the continent. As dawn broke over the Rockies, the Severance cannon was in place. Dr. Reyes and Miles, watching from a distant command outpost, monitored every movement. Juggernaut approached the designated strike zone. Lock coordinates, Reyes ordered. Pulse. Ready, Miles replied. Fire. A beam of pulsating blue-white energy tore through the sky, striking Juggernaut dead center. The air shimmered with mystic vibrations. For the first time, Juggernaut screamed, not in pain but in confusion. The glow around him flickered. His armor lost its shine. The connection to Cyttorak began to waver, but this time it didn't break. Juggernaut stumbled, his momentum slowed. The mystical glow that once made him indestructible dimmed. His powers visibly reduced, but he did not fall. He let out a guttural laugh, shaking the mountains with its force. You think you've weakened me? I'm still the Juggernaut. I was a Divorce before your ancestors could walk upright, Dr. Reyes watched in horror. The operation had worked, but not completely. The link to Cyttorak had been weakened, not severed. Juggernaut was no longer invincible, but he was far from defeated. Miles turned to Reyes. "We need a plan B," she nodded grimly. "We release the last hope. Get me Ben Grimm." Ben Grimm stood before the massive hanger mirror, adjusting the thick orange exo-weave suit, reinforced with vibranium alloy. His rocky skin cracked slightly as he flexed, expression hard as stone. When the call came from S.H.I.E.L.D., he knew it wasn't a bluff. Reyes had warned them all. Juggernaut was back, but this time he wasn't just a myth crawling from history. He was walking towards civilization with fury in every step. Ben grunted as he fastened his gloves, the air around him thick with tension. Agents hustled through the hangar, preparing a modified Quinjet. His best friend, Reed Richards, had designed it himself, a stealth transport capable of launching its passenger directly into combat without slowing down. S.H.I.E.L.D. Commander Nick Fury appeared briefly on the monitor. "You know what you're walking into, Grimm?" "Yeah," Ben replied. "But someone's got to stop that walking wrecking ball." The jet launched into the sky, its engines barely audible. As Ben flew westward, he reviewed the latest satellite scans. Juggernaut had plowed through half of rural Colorado, leaving scorched earth, destroyed convoys, and a cratered trail of demolished buildings. Ben didn't flinch. He'd fought Juggernaut before, never alone, but this was different. This was him stepping up when no one else could. With Cyttorak's energy flickering, Ben finally had a shot. As the valley came into view, the pilot activated drop mode. Grimm tightened his harness and said the words that had become a legend. "Clobberin time." He dropped like a meteor, slamming into the valley floor. Dust erupted around him. Across the clearing, Juggernaut paused mid-stride. The two locked eyes. "Cain," Ben said through gritted teeth. "Rock boy," Juggernaut snarled. "Come to get flattened?" "Let's find out." The clash was instant. Juggernaut charged, a blur of red armor and fury. Ben rolled aside just in time, catching Juggernaut under the ribs with a haymaker that made the beast stumble. But Juggernaut was far from done. He spun, his fist smashing into Ben's shoulder and sending him flying into a rocky slope. Ben roared back, launching himself with both fists. The blow sent Juggernaut skidding. Trees snapped, rocks shattered. Each punch felt like thunder. The valley echoed with the brutal symphony of titans. For every calculated move Ben made, Juggernaut responded with primal power. A slam to the chest, a crushing uppercut. Ben's legs buckled, but he refused to fall. He remembered New York in ruins, innocent lives lost. He remembered the fear in Amanda Reyes's voice. The fight dragged on. Blood, dark and dense, seeped from Juggernaut's lip. Ben's arms ached, but then he saw it. A slight shimmer, the Cyttorak energy continuing to fade. Juggernaut was tiring. Ben roared, driving his shoulder into Juggernaut's gut, lifting the brute and slamming him into the cliffside. The impact triggered a minor avalanche. Juggernaut struggled, dazed. Ben climbed onto the rubble and unleashed a series of crushing blows. 1, 2, 3. Then a final strike powered by rage and resolve. Crack! The cliff split behind Juggernaut. The beast groaned and slumped forward. Ben stepped back, chest heaving. "That's for everyone you trampled." He looked to the sky as the first S.H.I.E.L.D. drone arrived. "Tell Reyes, he's down, but you better figure out how to cut him off. From Cyttorak for good." Then with his body aching and the wind rushing over the broken valley, Ben Grimm gave one last smirk. "Told ya, it's clobbering time."